Here for Select from Team Dignitas and for Machine from Team Evil Geniuses.
And here we go, jumping into Blistering Sands as soon as this spawns two-player map, so you can't really be waiting on spawns. Zerg really feels comfortable taking their expansion early, I believe, on this map because you do have long distances between. And if Wheat was here, I'm sure we'd be talking about the back door on the map, as that's really one of his favorite things in all of these maps.
Really, it's one of his absolute most adored things in the whole wide world. That backdoor rock on Blistering Sands. Now, for the record, Wheat is a Zerg player, so he loves those big Ling Roach busts in the early stages of the game. And the game is finally loaded. We have Select in the top right corner as the red Terran player. In the bottom left, we have Machine as the blue Zerg pieces. On this map, I'm very curious to see what Select will pull out, because he's shown a variety of styles against Zerg, hasn't really settled down on one exact build order he likes, and especially with these destructible rocks that create the second entrance, it'll be a big question how we'll end up playing it out.
Yeah, now last event, Select took a lot of criticism for his TVP, pretty much doing the same build throughout the entire tournament. Super, super aggressive. Do you think that style translates to TVZ really well?
Well, the one danger is, of course, everyone's favorite unit, the Baneling, that can just kill as many Marines as it wants in one shot. You have to be very, very careful about spreading it out. Look at Select having a little bit of a misclick with that supply depot placement at the start. Now finally throwing it down. So looks like pretty typical at this point, nothing too out of the ordinary.
Now looks like he is sending out an SCV to go ahead and scout his opponent out. Looks like Machine is going up to 13 drones. Is he going to be making another one? Most likely so. There goes the 14th drone. Now this is really where the decisions start to come into play. Is he going to throw down an expansion at his natural, or is he going to go ahead and make that spawning pool at 200? We'll have to wait and see really how this game is going to be unfolding.
Well, Machine hasn't begun sending out anything yet, and really Select might go for the Manor Engineering Bay, just block right at the front. And oh no, Machine's definitely going to be going for the early expand, and Select lets it go down. Machine getting away with a miracle right there. He loves the early expand, and I think Select is going to be a little disappointed that that happened, but he could very well just bunker rush for the win.
Yeah, we actually do not see gas just yet from Select. He's going to go ahead and make another Rax here next to those destructible rocks right outside of that grass in his main.
Not quite a Maka Rax. Generally, a Maka-like Rax would be something up here, hidden, but close by the opponent. He could do a float, but most importantly, he's trying to convince Zerg that he is going to be doing something a little bit more defensive when really there's a big push coming. Now, this is very clever by Machine. He gets the hatch down very early, so creep and larva begin generating right off the bat, but he delays the pool so he can get a few extra drones in. Again, barracks take a long time to construct now that they have to have the supply depot before you can start building it.
A lot of people would be wondering why Machine sent that drone out after that SCV. He was making sure that there was no bunkers or anything crazy going down at his ramp. You sometimes do see Zerg players do that. That Marine will chase off that drone, though, and send it back to its base. SCV sitting in the middle of the map right now, and looks like this Rax that he built has been lifted and thrown down, and now you have a ton of SCVs streaming across the map, as well as Marines. Machine's going to be in trouble here in just a couple of seconds.
Machine making one queen and 6 lings and a drone. Machine feels like he is confident enough, but there is the first Marine. Oh no, did Select do the perfect wall off with the bunkers at the front? No lings can get down there now. He is microing very, very well. It looks like Select going for the very easy pressure, doesn't want to do any sort of long-term plan, and there the lings are starting to wail away at the bunker, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to build it fast enough, and the bunker does fall, and it looks like that SCV building the second bunker will get taken down. Unbelievable cool display by Machine at this phase in the game, but he canceled the spine crawler. Don't know if that was the best decision.
It looks like a Machine trying to get a nice round onto those Marines, but great control from Select there, and he's going to go ahead and start rebuilding that bunker, throwing down a new one. Only about 2 lings and a handful of drones. Drones faster than Marines, so they can possibly get this around here, but Select is controlling his Marines so well, killing a ton of drones. Here comes some more lings popping out of that hatchery at the natural. One bunker has been complete, but there's only SCVs inside of it right now, and 2 Marines only left for Select. Select's going to have to fall back, I believe.
So Select's trying to do his best micro he can. We do see that more Marines coming out for Machine. 2 queens en route as well. He needs to make sure nothing gets into that bunker. Uh-oh, Select beginning to repair it, and the Zerglings can't hit it from enough sides. It is incredibly low on life, and it looks like the Marines are starting to head in. He's killing off SCV, and it looks like, will he be able to take it down before the salvage? Very nice defense by Machine and the gas steal, but Select has no future plan at this point. He has plenty of money stockpile as he was microing.
Yeah, Select sending his Marines back. The Lings are hot on their trail, though. No speed just yet for Machine, as he did have to deal with that early aggression from Select. Is he going to be able to go ahead and get a surround? It looks like he is not, but good control from Select makes quick work of those Lings. 2 Lings left from Machine, as they will probably fall back and join their 4 comrades there. You mentioned that gas still earlier. Not really sure why Machine did that. Select currently had no gas mining at that point in time, but now it's going to start to come into play. Select finally finishing off his wall off there with a ton of Marines. Machine will have to fall back with those Lings.
I actually really like this play by Machine to take this gas geyser, because there's literally exactly one thing that Select could be doing, which is an early expand followed by a huge number of barracks. There's really no other option. I do think Machine should have stolen this gas geyser, as it does pull him farther away from the ramp. Bunker going down at the front, command center getting increasingly close to finishing. Does Machine have any idea that those extra barracks are down? No, they're actually just out of range of vision there. And in the meantime, Machine is getting the Zergling speed, getting the extra gas, and pretty much proceeding like your typical Zerg player would.
One thing that I really like from Machine is he is starting to do damage to these destructible rocks. Instead of just having idle Zerglings kind of chilling outside at the natural expansion, he's putting them to work onto those destructible rocks, which can come into play later in this match.
And now there are 2 tech labs down, so I would love the choice of getting Stim and Combat Shield quickly so we could begin putting pressure on. We saw Noosh do this in his games yesterday. Big Marine pressure can be very tough for Zergs to hold on, but you just have to have excellent control, which Select is known for.
Looks like Select will chase away those things at those destructible rocks. A lair coming up for Machine right now. Most likely going to see Baneling Muta. I believe that is kind of the go-to build. And there's the Baneling nest going down in the main. 2 gas geysers being added on at the natural expansion. Baneling Muta takes a lot of gas, so Machine's getting those pretty early on. Looks like going over into the main of Select. He has lifted that orbital command from his main. He's going to be dropping it there at the natural. This Zergling may be able to not allow it to drop, but Machine isn't watching too closely, as the Marines do go ahead and go down the ramp and take it out very easily.
So there's the bunker getting planted at the front. No combat shield has been started yet, but Stim is about halfway finished. Machine, one of the most active players about destroying destructible rocks. Even from the very start of the beta, he is slowly accumulating enough money to take an expansion down here at the south. And as we even got the chance to see Machine do recently, he will expand way more than you think is even possible in this matchup and just end up with ridiculous coverage all over the map. There's the Suicide Overlord, gets the Marine count. It sees exactly what he expected to see, big Marine numbers, and it looks like Select is going to treat us with a nice little micro-oriented bio ball.
And there goes the Overlord. Going to be able to see exactly what Select is up to. Seeing those 2 reactors onto those racks, and Machine kind of been doing that expansion when you don't think he can even expand anymore. Ever since I really started watching him way back in the beta, 1 more expansion being thrown down. He's going to take out these destructible rocks. He does have a drone in place. He might be taking another expansion, going up to 4 bases before his Spire even finishes. Oh, that is a ton of Banelings.
Whoa.
And he's going to have to wait for those Banelings to finish.
Yeah, he actually blocked himself from expanding there. That's the good old Manor Baneling play. And oh, it looks like Select very, very carefully moving around with this Marine. There's a Zergling there. He's trying to distract him. Doesn't want that to get spotted. And oh, that's a very nice little play by Marine. Oh, the Marine now pulling back. Just great control by both players. And this is not what Machine wanted. Oh, looks like there's the cancels. Machine got spotted, but no problem. He will take the gold in the top left.
Drone was trying to get away with its life, but Select was hot on its trail, went ahead and killed it. One of the nice things with Banelings is if your opponent is going bio ball like Select is doing, Banelings do very, very well against that, but he does not have the Baneling speed upgrade. Is at about 60% complete, so he's going to have to fall back onto the creep. A ton of more Banelings being morphed in, and here comes Select pushing right now. Creep not outside the base. There's a ton of creep tumors actually falling. Select might go ahead and jump into the main. There it is, 1 stim being thrown down. Here come the Lings and Banelings of Machine.
Banelings just finished at the backside. They are doing huge damage, and the Mutalisks are tracking it down. Select's early force has been obliterated, but how is Select's food doing? Well, Select is miraculously not as far behind as we would have thought, but Machine definitely has the lead at this phase.
Looks like that Queen from the natural expansion did fall to those Marauders, but Machine is going to continue putting the pressure on with these Banelings onto this bunker right at the choke. A bunch of Marauders soak up a lot of the Baneling damage, and now there's a ton of Marines stimming. They're going to make quick work of those Mutalisks, so Machine does pull them back.
Tanks coming out, medevacs coming out, Machine unusually only on 3 bases. Normally he's at about 7 at this phase in the game. Just continuing to make a lot of Zerglings, Mutalisks, and Banelings, and re-droning back up again. Wants to get this gold running as quickly as possible. In addition to getting the gas, we see very active creep spread by Machine. He did lose those queens, but he still has some creep tumors he could be pushing a little bit farther forward with.
Looks like Select is going to start adding some tanks into his army composition. Does he have siege mode? No, it is about halfway complete. And an armory being thrown down, most likely to go ahead and add some Thors into his army composition. Although that +1 upgrade onto that tank, make sure that no matter what upgrade those Lings have in terms of armor, they still will fall very, very quick. And here comes some Mutalisk harassment from Machine onto this one Rax. Most likely going to be able to take out that Tech Lab very fast. There he goes, selecting that. And he's going to continue to move into the base of Select and probably sniping off these reactors right here. There are a couple of Marines, though, stimming in. Machine takes a couple of losses. The missile turret trying to get some shots in. Looks like only 2 Mutalisks will die.
And it looks like Machine continuing to spread the creep, continuing to mass Mutalisks. In the unit counting station, we see that he has 13 Mutalisks out, is taking another expansion in very Machine-esque fashion. We do have the double evolution chamber down for the +1 upgrades that are, of course, essential in this matchup. And he has a lot of gas starting to stockpile. He could easily begin producing a lot of Banelings, but no, he's just returning back to big Mutalisk numbers.
Yeah, and here comes some more harassment. He's going to send some Lings onto those destructible rocks to go ahead and finish those off. No, he's going to send them towards the main of Select. Here comes a stem from Select with those Marines, going to be able to chase off those Mutalisks. And here comes a ton of Lings from Machine sitting right outside this destructible rocks of Select's main base.
It's going to be hard for Select to get another expansion up, as he only really can get the gold. And oh, there comes Machine's gigantic pack of Mutalisks. And oh, if we could get that barracks, that would be huge. He does take it out. Only 3 barracks right now for Select. That's going to definitely eat into his macro. We see that the +1 attack is going down at the armory. We see a Thor producing at this single factory. Actually, at both factories we have Thors in production, and this is exactly where Machine wants to be. He is just going to be macroing and taking more expansions, and look at his money. He could even afford another base.
And he's already fully saturated that high yield expansion. The new expansion is going to be saturated here very soon. A scan does reveal this huge army of Machine, and there come a ton of Banelings being morphed in right now.
Looking around, Machine could begin making a couple more Zerglings, even maybe getting an extra hatch. Rhett, as we saw against LZ Gamer, did favor getting a 3rd extra hatch right here by his natural expansion, but Machine, again, just loves continuing to expand. His money is high, but so is his food, and here comes a bunch of Banelings rolling in. Do they have the +1/+1? No, it's about 60%, and here comes Select's big push.
And Select moving out right now. Here comes those Mutalisks trying to do some damage onto that command center. They're getting it very low, but that small Bioforce will chase off those Mutalisks and kill that lone Ling. They're going to have to take out those destructible rocks, but look into the main of Select. There's a ton of Lings and Banelings trying to kill these SCVs. The SCVs do get away. No, just kidding. There's a ton of Banelings to go ahead and finish those off. Machine going into the main base of Select. It's a perfect time, chasing him away with those Mutalisks, and now he's doing so much damage. Wow, Baneling's doing terrible damage.
It was painful heading up the ramp to find some Banelings there to greet him. Things are falling apart for Select. Machine still has all these Mutalisks expanding again and could even invest in that bottom corner. Zerglings only just now getting repelled. Hive going down for Machine. The +1/+1 is done. And here come the Mutalisks at the bottom expansion. There's almost nothing here to defend. Select is just split in so many different directions. And he doesn't even have that many SCVs left. 29 versus Machine's 66.
That is so many Mutalisks to deal with. Only Marines out on the field. 2 Thors, actually. Those will do very, very well against the Mutalisks. But if he does do that whole position trick, they will be able to take down only 2 Thors. Going back over into the, I guess, kind of the middle part of all the bases of Machine. He does have a ton of Lings, most likely going to be morphing those into Banelings here very soon. Machine being very smart and picking off depots there to make sure that his opponent cannot amass a bigger army. Select going in for a last push right here, but here come a couple of Banelings to go ahead and kill a ton of Marines. A nice spread from Select, but those Mutalisks are coming in. This might be all she wrote for this Terran user.
Tanks doing almost more damage to the Marines than to the Zerglings, and there's the good game. Machine takes the win. Machine